Good afternoon. Now for another 5 minutes with Trey J. Styles. Today let's talk about prison populations. Let's talk about how insane this whole situation has gotten. 1 out of every 100 people, approximately in America, are in prison. 1% of your population. We talk about the 1%, the wealthiest 1% of this country, but let's talk about the locked up 1% of this country. Because what ends up happening is that we put them away and then we can forget about them because we have conditioned ourselves to believe that they deserve to be there, that whatever they've done causes them to be there. But is that necessarily true? Sometimes you have people who simply plead guilty because they can't afford to stay in prison, and maybe you, when left with limited options, pleading guilty and taking some time is preferable to the threatened minimum sentencing or different things. It's a very odd set of circumstances that we sometimes put people in. Maybe these people are simply family members or family individuals who can't afford to be away. They don't have jobs that will keep them, or they're easily replaced. We look for solutions to a situation. We call our jails correctional institutions, but what if there was really nothing wrong in the first place? I mean, you have an individual who misses child support. Well, that's not a non-violent that's a non-violent offender. That's not a person that is physically a danger to society. Yes, what he has done is wrong, but is that really an offense that warrants jail time? Perhaps we should encourage this person to do more with their lives instead of saddling them with a criminal record, which will make it even more difficult for them to improve their situation and do more for their families. Because this is what happens. If a person is behind on child support and they are arrested for it, they spend some time in jail. Well, during that time that they are incarcerated, the child support doesn't stop. It keeps adding up because there is still a living child on the outside that requires support. But instead of the person coming out and possibly having a job, any job that they had is probably now being lost, or something significantly will handicap them. It will handicap them in the future from getting a job. It's a very bad situation. We have people that have bail issues, and if you can't afford your bail, if you don't have the ready-made bail, then sometimes you can go to a bail bondsman, and they're going to get money regardless. Because if you pay $200 for a $2,000 bail, well, at the end of the day, you're still out $200, and maybe you couldn't afford to really be without that $200, but that's just the way it goes because they charged you $2,000, and instead of getting your money back, you now find yourself in some serious peril. Now you find yourself out of money. Then, of course, if you don't appear in court when you're supposed to, they have people who are licensed. Is that even an appropriate term? Licensed to hunt you down for the money. To hunt you down. Now, recently in the news, there was a country singer who was tracked down by a bounty hunter and killed in his home. There are people who live next door to individuals that bounty hunters are hunting, and then for some strange reason, maybe mistaken information or whatever, the bounty hunters will come and kick in their doors with no fear of reprisal. But we think that everybody deserves what happens to them. But instead we have 1% of our population, 1% of Americans that are in prison. Do they all need to be there? No. Is there a better way? Yes. We may not have figured it out yet, but there has to be a better way. There has to be something that works, something that can strengthen our communities, that can make situations better, and can keep people who are non-violent individuals out of the same space as rapists and murderers and people who have assaulted others. The fact of the matter is, a 17-year-old who drives drunk really shouldn't be in the same place as a person that went on a 3-month killing spree. Hopefully one day we will fix that. Hopefully one day we can make it cost effective, because I mean that's really what it comes down to. We want to make sure that they don't interfere with our lives any more than they already have. And the best way to do that is to make sure that they don't cost us anything. So hopefully one day we figure that out. And for everybody who has friends and family who are in jail, really sorry. I really hope they didn't do whatever it is that, they were accused of. But if they did, hopefully you learn from it, and there eventually will come a better way to fix the situation, to go forward, to actually put the correction back into correctional facility.